Yo.
Hi, this is Tony with RealFixesRealFast.com. Today we're working on a 99 Buick Century Custom. Customer's complaint is that when they get in the vehicle first time in the morning, throw it in gear, try to back out of their drive or whatever, that the thing is binding up and it acts like the brakes are on. We ended up taking it for a little test drive, verified there is a problem there, put it on the lift, spun the tires, left rear wheel was the issue, couldn't turn it by hand. We're going to show you a tool that's used on a lot of General Motors products. This particular tool is a Blue Point BT27. It's supposed to be roughly from 91, 92 up to current products with the one spring type tensioner assembly. A lot of vehicles will come in, they'll have a pin that comes through the backing plate over in here. It'll stick out from back there over to here. You'll end up with a spring. Goes up over that. You got a keeper washer. Keeper washer is designed with one side wide enough to go over the head of that, and you turn it a half a turn, and the other side is not as wide and it locks it in. That's probably one of the most common styles of brake keeper shoe methods that's available, and you'll see it in here. This particular vehicle is a 99 Buick Century Custom. It has not got that style. It has a single spring that comes from here, loops in, hooks up over the top of this, hooks in, comes this way, and it's a fairly tight, strong spring. First you'll need to go in here and deal with the self-adjuster spring. Then you want to install the tool on the front side. This tool is made so it's got a little hook in it with an adjuster here. Pulls this hook, adjuster here, that pulls it this way. So when you hook this in, you want to turn your hub so that your studs are even, because you're going to come in with a tool on this side and a tool from this side. So you want to hook this hook behind that spring. The tool has got notches back here depending on which vehicle application you're using. On this particular application we're going to use it on the longest one. You hook that onto the backing plate. You want to spin this down until you put just a little bit of pressure pulling out on that spring. Then you want to have this eyelet that pulls on this from this direction, and you want to pull it out just a little bit. That's going to release the pressure here. Now you work these together, and it pulls this spring right here out of that slot. By it coming back out of that slot, pulling out this way, which is this tool, it pulls it out this way. By tightening this tool, it pulls it out that way, which gives it clearance. You want to support your adjuster. And you can pull that shoe up out of its just like so. That shoe will come out. And you want to pull your self-adjuster out. This other side's a little more difficult to hook. The arm coming down through here is for your emergency brake cable to pull. It's a little bit in the way of this, but you can work it past it. You want to pull this up and pivot this a little bit, and it'll let you walk that emergency brake arm out of there. And that shoe can come up out of that side. With your tools in place, we're going to end up leaving them in place. It keeps this spring pulled out and wide. Allows us to deal with the wheel cylinder. As soon as we get done with that, then we can put the shoes back in and take the tools off. If you'll take your bleeder head screw loose, get it out of the way, To give you more clearance to put on this particular vehicle, it's a 12mm wrench on the brake line that goes in there. Then in the back of this, you got a couple star-shaped bolts to go through this. On this vehicle, it takes a 1/4 inch wrench. There's one of them, as you can see, it's got a star-shaped head to it. Then you can use a screwdriver out here to walk this wheel cylinder back and forth, and it will end up letting it come out. You want to take your old wheel cylinder and your new wheel cylinder, see that they're of similar style, similar size, make sure you got the right one with the right kind of ends in it. After we got the two star-shaped bolts tight, we're going to take this bleeder out. As you can see, if you try to get the wrench in here, it's going to hit the bleeder, and you're going to be at a wild tilt there. That tilt, that's not a good way. It could round the corners on that. So by taking this bleeder out, lets you get a straight shot right down on that line. Lot better for the line. Then you can put the bleeder back in. So if these backing plate spots on the back of this were here, here, and here, it's going to allow this thing, as it's applying and releasing the brakes, to do a rubbing. And you can hear a little bit of a chirping sound, especially if there's any not quite perfect trueness in your brake drum. As that drum's walking around, it can make a noise, so it also wear on it. So you want to take your tub of grease, put just a little pad on your finger and rub those spots that'll be rubbing the back of that brake shoe. You want to make sure the top of your shoes are in your wheel cylinder opening. Springs are in place. Adjusting arms are in place. The drum will need to fit on there with a little bit of resistance. In this case, as you can see, it's got some. It's not exactly what you want. Quite often you can take two screwdrivers. One to pull this adjuster plate arm back, and the other to get a hold of the star wheel, and then you can go a click at a time and get the adjustment on the shoes to fit the drum to start with. You want just a little light pressure on a new set as you're going on, but you want to be able to turn it. If it was so tight that it wouldn't turn, you need to back it off and bring the shoes in a little bit. If it just spins freely and there's no resistance, you want it to turn the spiral on the star wheel and bring that with just a little bit of resistance to it. But if you do not happen to have this tool available, it can be done a different way. So we're going to show you a different way. As you can see, it can be disassembled. It's a little more less controlled environment. So we're going to try to assemble this side back together with just the screwdriver without the special tool. So here we go. You want to start with the side that has the emergency brake handle on it. As you can see here, between using your belly for the screwdriver leverage and working your hands to control the brake shoe and the parts that have to go up in here, it gets a little complicated, but it can be done. In this case, you can see that we were able to do it with a simple screwdriver, do the reassembly. A little complicated to hold the pieces and hold the leverage and hold against your belly and get everything lined up. So it can be done, but in some cases tools are designed just to make the job a little easier, a little less frustrating, and in some cases a little safer. The next thing we've got to do is bleed the air out of the system. One of our preferred methods is a tool called the pedal pumper, so we're going to apply it and bleed the brakes. Now we're going to start with the right rear here. We're going to apply the pedal pumper valve, which is going to extend the pedal up there and push the pedal towards the floor. And then we're going to open the bleeder up and let the air out. Close the bleeder, let the pedal pumper off. Now we're going to apply the pedal pumper and release the valve again. One of the nice things about using the pedal pumper is it actually does test the hydraulics by using the master cylinder, pushing the fluid back through the lines, wheel cylinders and everything, and you actually get to see that you get the air bubbles out and it becomes liquid, which means you've got all the air bubbles out of that line.